Good morning. I wanted to talk to you today about the differences between a plug-in hybrid electric and a regular hybrid electric vehicle, like a Prius, for example. And I shot like a 14-minute video on my iPad mini, but I've tried uploading it a couple times and I keep getting errors, and I don't know what the deal is. I never have that trouble with this Samsung Android phone, so I'm going to reshoot the video and we're going to try it this way. I'm out in the garage and we're charging the Ford plug-in C-Max Energy car that we have. My wife just got back from town, and we happen to have a bird in the garage. I can't seem to pick him up on the camera right now, but you can probably hear him. Birds getting trapped in this garage is kind of an interesting phenomena. They're kind of bird-brained. I guess birds always think about flying to safety high because they can fly, and here they are in this garage, and the way to get out of the garage is to fly low, fly out the garage doors or the entryway door. But invariably they try to get out the skylight or whatever, and about the only way I can get them out at night by having porch light on the house, and they see the light in the doorway and they'll fly to the light. But during the daytime they'll stay stuck in this garage. Kind of strange locked-in thinking habit they have. I posted on my Facebook group page for electric vehicles about how I never owned a Prius. I always thought about buying one, and I test drove 2 or 3 of them at the dealer, and I had a boss that owned one, and we even as a rental car we had a Prius for a day or two once, and I've always liked them. And but the very first electric vehicle we got was a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, a Ford C-Max Energy. We got it last November 30th. So I wanted to talk to you about the differences between the vehicles. Basically, a regular hybrid is really a gasoline engine car with electric assist, is the way I look at them. They have about a 1 kilowatt-hour battery pack or something like that, and the electric motor in the battery pack scavenges energy from really the from the internal combustion engine, or more precisely really from the energy in the gasoline in the car. And it does improve their MPG. Priuses get in mid-40s to even the mid-50 miles per gallon. Now, we once had a Honda VX back in the 1990s. It was just a gasoline engine car. It ran on a lean burn engine, and it could get up to 55 miles per gallon. And we really liked the car, but the only reason we got rid of it is it didn't have air conditioning. And out here in the desert Southwest, that just wouldn't work. So it's possible to get that kind of mileage. Now, I don't know why Honda stopped making that vehicle. It may be because of air pollution regulations with that lean burn engine. But at any rate, they don't make it anymore. And so I really didn't have the high expectations that I've come to have now from owning a plug-in electric vehicle. I didn't realize when I actually bought this car that that 2/3 of my driving would be in electric drive only. And it's a pleasant surprise, really. And the biggest thing that we did after we bought the car, when we first got it, of course, we was using the regular charger. It came with the vehicle, 120 volt. And that took 7 hours to charge the car, which means that, let's say we used the car in the morning, we might not have, if we had to turn around and go to town 2 or 3 hours later or something, we wouldn't be able to get the car charged up. And so when we went to 220 volt charging with 2 hour and 10-minute charge times, it really increased our EV range simply because of the turnaround time. Also, the 220 volt charging is more energy efficient. In other words, it takes, for every kilowatt hour I put in a car, it takes 1.32 kilowatt hours with 120 volt charging out of the socket to get that 1 kilowatt hour into the battery. But with 220 volt charging, like I'm using here, I get, it only takes 1.23 kilowatt hours to put a kilowatt hour in a battery. So this actually improves my MPGs because I'm using less energy for the same amount of energy in the battery. So, and these efficiencies will scale up, I think. Faster chargers at 220 volt would even be slightly more efficient. Also, we're charging off of solar panels. It's daylight now, as you can see. And so 2/3 of our driving with this car is on sunshine without any CO2 being put in the atmosphere. Also, when we're driving, and this is really important, when we're driving in the city, where we use electric drive a lot, because it's more efficient to use it in the city than it is on the highway, we're not spewing any products from hydrocarbon combustion into the atmosphere. So we're driving as clean as you can be when we're driving in the city. And nobody knows. I see very few electric cars in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and very few people around us have any awareness whatsoever they're looking at an electric car. Anyway, I think that's my major point. I like Priuses. I think the technology's moved on. I think it's time for Toyota to get up to the table and start producing more plug-in electric vehicles and pure electric vehicles, which they've declined to do so far. I think they're waiting on some kind of magic battery technology, which may or may not come. I think battery technology is going to improve. I'm not sure it's going to improve to Toyota's satisfaction. At any rate, Toyota does have a Prius Prime out now with a 25-mile electric-only range, and that's a great car. I'd certainly consider buying one. One of the reasons we got this Ford C-Max was because it was a smoking deal. It's a $37,000 car that we got for $25,000 because it's set on the dealer's lot for a year, and they marked it down 1/3 and then threw in $1,000 off when we bought it. So, and I think Ford's getting ready to stop producing the Ford C-Max Energy next year, maybe. I don't know that for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised. Also, the Ford C-Max is like a crossover. It's not technically, but it's got high roof line and more ground clearance than a Chevy Volt, for example. And so we like it for that reason. I think Ford's going to get into a crossover EV in the next few years. And that's one of the things about the Tesla Model 3, which I've been following very closely, is that it's still a car. In that market segment, cars generally in the United States are selling less than they used to, and people are moving to crossovers. So But that said, the Model 3's with a 0.23 drag coefficient is going to be aerodynamically a lot more efficient than a crossover would possibly be, unless the bodies were extended longer. So, also, I'm thinking about getting a pure electric car at the turn of the year 2021, when we're done paying for this pickup truck over here, and maybe turn this car over to our daughter and son-in-law, so they'll have a more efficient vehicle to drive that's newer than what they got now. I'm shooting a video, honey.
Sorry.
It's okay.
In the trailer.
But I've been kind of surprised to find that the Model 3 may not be available. I don't even know if they're going to lease them. But I'd love to be able to get my hands on one simply because of the Tesla charging network, which would make it possible for me to travel across country in that vehicle. But I may end up having to get a Chevy Bolt or a Nissan Leaf or something, just because that car, the Model 3, is going to be hard to get a hold of. They're really not even going to have production ramped up until next year, and we're not. There's a long line of people waiting to get one, so I just don't know whether they'll be coming off any kind of lease in 3.5 years, and whether we could even get our hands on one. But I can sure imagine we could get our hands on a Bolt or a Leaf, for sure. If not, maybe I can get something new. Who knows? 3.5 years is a long time. There's going to be a lot of other developments, so we'll see how that goes. There's my bird over there. He's in the window. Where is it? Right over there. See that thing right in the window? That's a damn bird. Bird brain. Speaking of which, an amusing tale today. This morning I was sitting in the library in my underwear, and the damn doorbell rang. It turned out it was our German Shepherd. It rang the front door. I don't know. She can get up on her hind legs, and her paw just hit that doorbell. I let her in. She can ring the doorbell. She can come in. Anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed some of my videos, and by all means subscribe. We'll try to get some more videos out to you. I still need to do one when we're driving the vehicle, and I haven't done it. It's really hard to shoot a video and drive the vehicle because I don't have the paraphernalia to hold onto the camera and all that. And but maybe when my wife's driving, I'll shoot a video. So we'll talk to you down the road, and I'm going to upload this and post it on my Facebook webpage for electric vehicles. So subscribe and take care all. Bye-bye.